Hello, once again. We're back with another devlog, I suppose, part two. Um, I wanted to share some progress on Drop and Grow, how the project's been going generally. And I guess to start off with, I should say I'm recording this in the middle of Next Fest, and it's been pretty great so far. I feel like, as far as a first title goes, and for such a small scope game like this. Next Fest started on February 23rd. Drop and Grow at that time had about 1,500 wish lists. It is now February 27th. So in that amount of time, we've got about 550 to 600 wish lists just from Next Fest, which is great. We're sitting above 2,000 wish lists now total. I'm still aiming for Q2 release. I don't want to give specific dates, but I'm hoping if I'm stay on the best track timeline to do that at the end of April, beginning of May for the full release. So what have I been doing on the project since? Well, last time I updated, I talked about replacing all of the music with Kevin MacLeod, and I talked about potential cursor changes. So I do have cursor changes. I can show those off here. This is first time launch page that'll show up if you have a save older than demo version 1.1. or if you're just booting it up for the first time ever. You should be greeted with this page that'll ask for left-handed and right-handed cursor setup. I know that I am still, maybe some people would say I'm very stupidly going against convention of having the mouse cursor be in the top left like this pointer here. But and because I'm doing it on the bottom, but I feel like that I want to capture this droplet hanging from the leaf with my gameplay and keeping it on the bottom for menu navigation, which is what this quill is going to be used for. Keeping it consistent, I think, is the best play. I think if I did a lot of like twirling this around and swapping around, and the pointer changes the position on the mouse cursor, it would be more confusing than it is. So keeping things consistent here. And I'm hoping that this being a writing utensil for the menu navigations and associating it with left-handed versus right-handed, that's how you would hold this with your right hand, right? You'd be pointing down into to the left. I'm hoping that would help alleviate some of the friction that has been caused by my decision of having the tip on the bottom. And it seems to be received well. I don't know. I haven't put out much content showcasing it, but that aside, this is what I've been working on lately. This is the upgrade menu for the main game mode, standard game mode. Working on filling this out, making sure I've got it paced pretty well. Different currencies being unlocked at certain times, breakpoints for expounding how much of a given currency is being given, etc., etc. It's going pretty well. Also sort of adding a new mechanics here and there as I fill this out. Just small little things. In the demo, there was a chance for vines to show up on cliff faces. I'm turning that into an actual upgrade now and stuff like that. Just extrapolating out as many levers that I can pull here and there. What else? We've also, I put out a demo 1.1 update that you can see on the Steam page. But something to call out in that update, I also added more backgrounds here, so I can turn them on and off. So this is the old background, the base background that I used for a lot of my other stuff. So I showed you just saw one of the new mountain backgrounds. Here's a sort of grassy mountain, and we've got other ones for forests and stuff. So this adds a lot of visual variety. These should swap in and out as you're playing through the days. I think there's a little bit more refinement I can do on the timing of it to make it a bit more consistent. But hopefully it keeps things visually interesting. I think a small little update, but a lot of mileage out of it. What else? Oh yeah, so maybe I can play here. I also I spent some time overhauling the upgrade menu iconography. The upgrade menu should be a lot more readable at a glance without having to read words, because people do not like reading words. Although there is occasionally some very important information in those words, I don't think people should be expected to read every word all the time. So some of these improvements that I have made include giving you a big picture item and then a small picture item iconography for what the upgrade is doing. So if you're doing bushes, for example, it'll have a big picture of a bush, and then how it affects the bush is going to be in a small icon like this. So here we have this adds more bushes. It's a plus symbol, straightforward. And this has the leaf icon for the resource over here. And when you buy it, you're going to get more leaves from it. These are the same upgrades that were in the demo. It's just now they should be way more readable at a glance. Maybe these are too small. Maybe this twig is a bit too thin. Like, I don't know. But I think it's definitely an improvement over what I've had before. This is like the drop time is improved. You're getting more drops here. I mean, yeah, it should all be very straightforward. The expansion icon with the tile in here looks a lot better. Adds a lot more color also. It was very just white and bland before. I think having this this color added in here works very well. Yeah, it's been tricky. It's been cool. Figuring out when I want to introduce or changing when I'm introducing flowers, kind of the pacing at which you're going to unlock them, the pacing at how fast these bushes are going to grow. Fruit is the next resource I want to introduce after flowers, and when am I going to do that, and how am I going to do that? Zoom on over this way. I want to show off geysers. Look at this. I got geysers. It's going to be a fun new thing. I've shown briefly in previous content, if you've been an old head, I guess at this point. I've not been around that long, but I'll show off the geysers a little bit. I also have clouds I want to show off. The lake was in the demo over here. We also have a river, so I can show off the river. And I think these are like the big things. There's also like a cloud. And so this is kind of also another tricky thing that I have to figure out how to balance, is the pacing at which you expand the space that you have to play with versus taking it up with shit. So let's see what this one looks like. Wow, that still is very occupied by rocks. Lots of rocks. Boy, oh boy. But so this geyser, you feed it some water. It'll take some time to charge up. And then it'll do a big explosion. And spew out a bunch of water. And then you can upgrade it in various ways, which should be fun. You can see also we have this new water. This was a big 1.1 update. Look at this water. Oh my god, it's so beautiful. So good. And then also we got some waterfalls. There's some minor things that I have to fix with the layering here and the VFX positioning. I also updated the UI. I updated the fidelity of the UI. People were pointing out that it's they want the cursor to be pixel art, and I want to fight against that a little bit because the artist support I'm getting for the tiles and the plants and stuff is very limited in their amount of time that they can help improve the art in the game. So I'm gonna respect their time, and the UI art, if I had them doing all the UI art, it would be way too much in the amount of time I've projected for my project here to make it look good. And I experimented briefly with pixelizing all of this stuff myself, and like I don't think it looks great personally, and I don't think I can do a good job of making it look better, because that would require me to input a lot of time that I want to focus instead on mechanics and balance and progression and things of this nature to make the game the best that it is. So, in the opposite direction, I have sort of upscaled the UI elements a bit to make it less noticeably pixel art. It looks a lot more finer, and sort of push it in the opposite direction. So all of the UI, the cursor, all of these things, and the resource iconography is all going to be higher fidelity and not pixel art. And then the game world itself, being the background and the tiles that you're dropping onto, will be pixel art style. And I'm hoping that sort of visual consistency doesn't turn too many people off. The intentional visual inconsistency. Anything else that I need to go over? Clouds. I briefly teased clouds. Clouds are another mechanic I got to dive into over the next week. Looking forward, so I'm basically going to be working on the progression and the balance, building it out. And then once I got it full, I'm going to be testing it a bunch myself and making sure it feels good. And then beyond that, I have ideas for secondary game mode, where I can sort of lean upon the established knowledge built up from the standard game mode and play with the mechanics in the game in weird and wacky ways that would be better understood by somebody who knows how the game works. So secondary game mode planned for full release. Beyond that, I don't know if I'm going to do any others. There's no promises there. Anyway, so that's what I'm going to be working on here. I think, I also forgot to mention that I did wind shaders. I've been toiling around in Shaderland as well a little bit myself. I think that covers everything. I'm going to chop this video up, and hopefully I get something nice looking out of it to share with you guys in the devlog. And going to put my head to the grindstone, and I'll be back maybe in the middle of March, later March, with another devlog update to check in and see how things are going. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Drop and Grow. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.